Well, hello again folks, and welcome back to the Maestro project. In today's video, we're going to do a little bit of welding to the car. We're going to finish sorting out the brakes, and we're going to do some work on the exhaust system. Some of these clips are going to be, yet again, a little bit all over the place in terms of continuity. However, that's just because it's been filmed over several different days and several different weeks and things like that. You know how it kind of has to work with this project at the moment. But we're going to start off first with the welding. So we need to give a massive shout out and a massive thanks to Ian, who has come down and has actually done the welding on the car. Ian is also the person who found the Maestro in the first place and told me about it. So without Ian, the project wouldn't have happened, basically. Ian also was the one that picked up the Maestro for me and brought it down to the workshop where we are now and helped me dig it out of the barn. So Ian has been a very integral part of this project, and he's always been very kind. He basically refuses to be paid for helping me out with the welding and the things like that. So in return, I just want everybody to say thank you, Ian, in the comments, and give him a shout out and give him a thumbs up because he deserves it. He's really helpful and it's been very much appreciated. Okay, so we're going to move on to clips of the welding now. Bear in mind that there will have been some bits of the process that weren't actually on camera or weren't recorded. So if you're thinking, oh, they've missed this bit out on prepping or something like that, or painting or whatever, it has been done, you just haven't seen it. So we have Ian here drinking his cup of tea, who's saving the day today, and he's already started just grinding off the actual vehicle. So as you can see, this is the hole that we're working with, and he's ground it back so he can plate it over. What did you say that this plate that we're using came from? It was from an old tractor or something?
Hello viewers. Yes, this plate is a panel out of my 1970 Whitlock digger, which I've removed to do some repairs to. In the meantime, my son and his friends used the other half of it to, I don't know, whatever they do. So I figured, well, might as well just carry on the tradition and use it to patch your cars up.
Exactly, which is so probably a bit thicker than we need, but it'll certainly do the job and keep it road legal, that's for sure.
For all those people out there expecting to see a program like Wheeler Dealers or DIY SOS with Ed Townsend and Fuzz China, you might want to stop watching now.
How's it going?
Okay, I'm doing little stitches because if you try and do one good run, you end up doing what I've just done there and blowing a hole through the thin bit. So
yeah.
I've found with old cars and thinnish rusty metal, if you just do little stitches,
Yeah.
you tend to end up doing a better job.
So here we have the progress before we do a little bit of painting. I say Ian's currently the one in charge of doing this, and yeah, it's a big difference there from having a hole to something that'll be legal. We got rid of the flaky little bits of the worst of it off here as well, and that's all going to be, it's all been taped up a little bit, and we're just going to run over that with a bit of cold galvanizing stuff, isn't it? Yeah, zinc spray, whatever it is, and then it says Ian's got some red paint apparently, so we'll see what the colour match is like. And this is the kind of the priming on the paint as well, over the welding patch that he's done. So we've then just got to run some random red paint that we've got over it, and that'll be this pretty much fixed for certainly now anyway. And this is the final result of the paint job, and you can see that it actually came out pretty well, to be honest with you, and I'm happy with that. That's all covered, that's all safe, that's all been welded properly and repaired, and there are absolutely no issues. So that, as far as I'm concerned, is fixed. That is now the welding out of the way. Let's talk about the brakes. So Ian, what exactly have we just done here?
Don't ask me, Will. It's your car.
My car. Oh, he says apparently this is an old trick to stop the fluid leaking down when you take the hose off.
Well, it creates a vacuum in the reservoir and stops you losing all the fluid in your system. Just makes it a little bit easier to bleed up if you only need to do one corner.
Which is a handy tip, and I'll just get under there and just show them what you've managed to do that I didn't have the balls to do. Ian has managed to get this brake hose free, which is good because I can't make brake lines, and I was worried I'd completely wreck it and ruin it. But the mighty Bulldog BDX has come to the rescue, and
what's that again, Will?
The mighty Bulldog BDX. They're not paying me. In fact, they won't give me any cans. But you know what? It's good stuff. So they deserve people to buy it because it's good stuff. But yeah, so it looks like we're going to have to replace this completely blocked hose with a nice brand new one, which I have sitting right here. And there you go, before and after that trick actually worked. As you can see by the little dimple, it did actually put a vacuum on it and stopped all the fluid coming out. And Ian has very kindly fitted the new line there. We just need to bleed this side up and see how that goes. So let me give you an update on the rear wheel bearing situation. I got a new nut and it actually went on nicely. There were no problems with that at all. I have indeed put a new split pin on it, and that's on both sides as well. Now, because of the issue I had with the threads, I've also got a paint marker and just put it in a couple of places. So what I can do is I can watch it while I'm driving it and just make sure this doesn't move, because if this moves, then obviously, you know, I'll have to think about doing something else. But the wheel bearing is now on tight. There's no movement in the hub, anything like that. Obviously, we have that replacement hose in. I wasn't initially going to change this hose before the MOT, but you know what? I decided to do it. I did it off camera in the end, and it's done. It's got the new hose on. It's all bled up, and that means the braking system actually has brand new hoses all the way around, a new master cylinder, new fluid. I've adjusted the brakes. I didn't bother filming that because you've already seen me taking apart the brakes. So I've done it both sides. The handbrake is now a lovely height. The rear brakes lock up perfectly. Now the next step is to sort out this leaking manifold downpipe. So as you can see, we've got a little hole around here, which is where all the exhaust blow and noise is coming from. Now I've got this little clamp up patch pipe here, which I'm planning to put over it to use to rejoin together the two halves of the exhaust system. And obviously I'll just cut back a little bit from there on that join line, because it's on that join line there is where it goes larger anyway. And that should be fine. I should, as long as this comes out easy enough and isn't completely rotten on this side in that section, it should link up and it should stop the leak. Now I do have this entire replacement downpipe, but the reason I don't want to use it yet is just because I would actually like to have a stainless system made up, and this could be a good template for that stainless system when I take it to somebody to make me a stainless downpipe. But if I have to put it on the car, I will. I just know though that what will happen is I'll undo the nuts from the manifold and they will snap, and I'll have to put a tap and die set in there and redo all the threads and everything. It'll just be a headache. So if I can at least stop it from leaking for now, it gives me time to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of the exhaust system. So as you can see, we have pretty much the entire exhaust system off. And I've gone ahead and I've replaced the downpipe. Now the reason I've had to replace the downpipe is simply because the second I started taking the exhaust system off, the centre box, and I had to take the back box off as well to do that, it started twisting and it pretty much just broke and split in half. So I had no option other than to use the downpipe that I had. And when I tell you that all 3 of the exhaust manifold nuts broke off from the downpipe, I cried. I probably spent about 3 to 4 hours grinding, drilling, reshaping, using sealing stuff to make everything fit and go back on in the right place. The drill work wasn't the best through the manifold, I'll tell you that, but it works, and I have turned it on and I can't see any leaks at the moment. I couldn't hear or feel anything. We'll know when we get the rest of the centre section back on as well. So yep, there is the downpipe, and now I've just got to put the mid section back on. I also went over it with a bit of a wire brush as well, just to see if there are any massive rust holes and get the worst of the flakes off, and it seems okay. I could probably do with treating it and putting some high temperature paint on it, but I'm going to have these bits replaced anyway, so I'm not that massively bothered. The fact is they don't leak right now, even if they look a bit rusty, so it's a start. It'll get me going. And this is it, the exhaust is back on. I ended up having to use the clamp and a little bit of sealing goo in the end to make it happen, but it's on and it doesn't leak. The whole exhaust system is on and sat where it should be. Little bit of sealing stuff there, doesn't look pretty, but it works. And obviously we have the back box in place. So the exhaust system is fine, the exhaust system is totally done. Well, that is all for today's video. Thank you everybody for watching, and in the next video, we'll be going for the MOT. Will it pass? Will it fail? Who knows? Let's find out. As always, my name is Will, this is Taddy Old Cars, and thank you for watching.